Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? So good, I hope. So good. I am. So I said that I was going to paint on I said that I wanted to paint on my February blossom, and I had one started that I was kind of like, ooh, I want to play with that more. And of course, guess what? I don't have that, so I'm going to need to print another one. And that'll just take a second, and then I'll just chat while it's printing. Ay. You know what? I'm going to play with, I'm just going to play with Flower Child because that is already printed. So that's what I'm going to play with today. I'm just feeling like I need to, I just need to kind of have a little warm up this morning. I wonder if some of you do too. Because of the 3-day weekend, that's always kind of a funny thing, isn't it? Okay, so is everybody, let me know if Wi-Fi is, let's see, video. Okay, so tell me if things are better now, if we are coming back to our own. Good morning, Valerie. Is everybody, can everybody hear me clearly this morning? I know some people are having a little bit of difficulty this morning. Everybody make sure you have a big drink. At the ready, and make sure that you take a big drink. So I'm going to paint on this today, and I was just feeling this morning like I really wanted to do some, I'll do embroidery tomorrow. Today's Tuesday. I'll do embroidery tomorrow in Stitch Along, Brenda. So today I will do, did I say that on my calendar? I'm so sorry if I did. Let me look. I have one calendar that's me, that's like, yes, Stitch Along is tomorrow, thank goodness. So, and I said no, please, Brenda, I mess up my days every day. Oh my gosh. And I'm so mixed up. No, nothing is your fault. Just a simple mistake. Easy peasy. So I said new art and washi today. I will be posting those later on today. I'm just a little bit discombobulated this morning. Hey, Deb, how are you? Oh, Nance, I'm glad you're home, sweet home. How about you, Deb? Are you home or are you guys still here? I can't remember what day you said you were leaving, if it was yesterday or today. I'm so glad everybody's here. That's so funny. That's so funny, Tam. I know. We will take any excuse to buy art supplies. Oh, no, Debbie. I'm so sorry. Oh, my gosh, that must have been a miserable flight home. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. But I'm just imagining myself on that great big screen in your craft room. I'm just imagining my hands just going all over the place, and they're giant. So, hey, I saw something this morning that I thought would be kind of fitting for us. And I said reunited because I didn't post anything on social media all weekend long. So here's what happened. I got sick on Thursday, the first day of my retreat. I woke up and I was sick as a dog. And you know what? My team just rocked it. They just handled everything. They set everything up. And while I slept, at one point I was laying on the floor of the event space with my sweatshirt wadded up like a pillow. I was, But and so I had a little bit of a rough start, but I will just tell you, once I entered the room and I just fed off the energy of all these amazing women, and it was just a weekend all about girl power. I'm telling you, I started to feel better and better and better. And so, just the power of all of that good energy helped me tremendously. But I wanted to talk about, so I can't find my comfort book just yet. Oh, I absolutely will. I absolutely will. My team and I have already started talking about it, Deb. We have already started talking about next time. Okay, so I can't find comfort book this morning. It's in a box or a bag somewhere. That was the joke of the weekend. It's in a box or a bag somewhere. Oh, Keels, give a hug and a kiss. Have an amazing time. Have an amazing, amazing time. I know. I'll find it, I promise. That's why I was a few minutes late, because I was digging through boxes and bags. It is in a box or bag. Okay. So, I have this book called Life is a Verb. It's a verb. Life is a Verb. And it's a bunch of different ways to wake up, be mindful, and live intentionally. And I just pull it out every now and again and read a little passage. So here we go. Say wow when you see a bus. There is a pure, shining glory in the world of my toddler daughter, Tess. It is called a bus. A big, big bus, to be exact. Good morning, Denise. For Tess, there is absolutely no greater joy, no surprise more full, no experience more fantastic than that moment of sheer ecstasy and full body wonder when she sees a bus. Like someone with short-term memory loss, each one of her first is her first. Wow, a bus. She says it with every fiber of her being. A big, big bus. For someone so small, she has quite a lung power, a voice that carries for some distance, making heads turn in her wake. There is a close second to bus joy when we approach the tunnel, the big, big tunnel. But even that pales in comparison with the bus. Then, of course, there is the penultimate thrill of the truck, the big, big truck, or the big red fire truck, or the ice cream truck, or happy truck, or the huge, big truck, big, huge truck. A very loud announcement made but many times each day and complicated only slightly by the fact that every TR in her noisy vocabulary is rendered as an F. You do the math. We cut quite a figure in the produce aisle or post office when she hears a great big fire truck go past, announcing it to the surprised masses. Being around her is like getting a PhD in exuberance. Hers is a joy we all know before we divide ourselves and wall off the part we keep to ourselves, the part we hide for fear of ridicule. I once read of a man who went into a kindergarten class and asked how many of the kids could sing. Every hand shut up immediately. How many could dance? Same response. How many could paint? Again, all hands shut up eagerly. Then he went into a college classroom and asked the same. Did he get the same response? No. No hands went up. What happens in all those years between 5 and 18 to our sense of joy and possibility and personal command of the universe? We learn to mask ourselves, our surprise and our glee, our sense of self-worth and self-loathing. Self-loathing. I know, a PhD in exuberance. We need to figure that one out. We need to coin that phrase, Deb. Don't say you can't paint. Don't say you can paint because someone else might paint better than you do and people will judge. Don't say you can sing because you're no Johnny Cash. Don't say you can write if you're not on the New York Times bestseller list. Don't express your sheer wonder at the sight of a bus. That would mark you as unsophisticated and naive. We don't often allow ourselves to be surprised as adults. Our unwillingness or inability to be wowed is exactly the problem. We equate being surprised with being unprepared and naive. If I am surprised, I'm weak. If I am surprised, I'm not ready. If I am surprised, I'm vulnerable. Therefore, I can't be surprised. I won't let myself be surprised. I will do whatever it takes not to be surprised, not to let other people know I have noticed the big bus, and I am totally floored by the very ecstatic love of that bus, that seeing it makes me want to shake all over and scream out at the top of my lungs. Hearing astronaut Story Musgrave speak and show photographs he took of the Earth from space is a lesson in perspective and wonder. He begins and ends his presentation with a slide of a small child on a bench, bent completely double on her haunches as she peers intently at some small thing in the sand. Perhaps a shell or seaweed, a bug, or just the bubbles of salt water. It is that sense of mystery and wonder and intense focus and fascination we lose as we age, that we need to recover, reclaim, own, cherish, and share. As I pushed Tess in her swing, bigger, she urges, an adrenaline junkie at 4, I mused something about what it would be like to approach life as an adult like Tess does now, boldly marching forward in her days. Wow, a meeting. Looky, an insanely long and completely inane meeting. Yee! A huge parking ticket. A 200-page strategic plan. Yippee! A report due tomorrow. A mortgage payment. Wow. A dysfunctional boss in a big, fantastic fire truck. Hi, Kelly. So this book is Life is a Verb. So I found this book in the grocery store 100 years ago, and I just pull it out every now and again and just read something that just my heart needs to hear, my soul needs to hear, my grown-up self needs to hear, right? So there's always, I know, don't you love her, Kelly? Anyway, there's always do it now challenges. there's always, like they talk about, just take a moment today and go for a walk. So let's all try to do this. And find a leaf or a rock, the most ordinary plain leaf or rock you can find. Sit and look at your leaf or rock for 5 minutes quietly. Then put it away so you can't see it and write a description of that object for 5 minutes without stopping. Describe every detail you can recall. What distinguishes your leaf or rock from any other? Read what you have written and look at your leaf or rock again before putting it back in the yard. Could you find it again based on your description? You can apply this kind of leaf attention to anything or anyone to increase your sense of wonder, to enlarge your vision of them. You guys, let's try to be more, what is the term again, Deb? A PhD in exuberance. What can we be exuberant about today? I don't know. We'll find something though. I just know it. So I'm going to get my my flower child out, and I just want to start painting. And I'm telling you, everything is a jumble around here. I'm usually much better prepared. So I can't find that. So you know what? I am going to just put, I told myself I really needed just some creative warm up this morning. And so I'm going to use my new Tim Holtz. That makes me feel exuberant too, Deb. That I got to hug you after all this time. I got to really hug you. That was the loveliest. So I'm thinking, I think Shabby Shutters. I really like that color. What was the other one that I was like, Let's just start with Shabby Shutters. Good morning, Susan. Susan, we need to meet so will you still paint me a rock? Susan painted the most amazing rock for my sister. So I was like, oh, Susan, will you paint one for me? We just had, I'm telling you, I left the weekend feeling so, inspired in so many ways, artistically and just girl power. I was just enamored with all of my new pals. Oh, it's in the group. It's in the group, Susan, but I will message it to you, absolutely. So I'm just using these Tim Holtz what does he call them? Watercolor pencils. So they're much more like an art crayon, I think, than a pencil, certainly. There we go. And so I just want to get a base of color down, and then I want to really come in and play with building some color. Like this morning, I told myself this is what I needed. I just needed to hang with my artsy friends and do a little creative warm-up. I'm still trying to find things. I tried to pawn off so much stuff on my family. I was like, how many Cheez-Its can you fit in your bag? We didn't have time to do all the things we wanted to do, which was crazy, wasn't it? That we had, okay, now I'm going to try it with the dipped watercolor pencil. See what happens there. It's a bit deeper, isn't it? My color is a bit deeper. And this is kind of smoother coloring. It's my first art retreat ever, Valerie. I know, me too, Susan. So that's what I was, seriously, I was like, I had birthday cake too, remember? So I sent like the biggest chunk of birthday cake home with my nephew. And I told Jeff, we have to freeze all of that because, and I keep finding little boxes of cookies. Because, you know, everything just kind of got packed away. However, I was like, we just need to get it out of the room and into my car and then into the house. And it's so funny. It's so funny. So I just keep finding things little by little by little. Thank you so much, Susan. I thought it was fantastic too. I had the best time. And I already have a lineup of mini classes I'm going to do in the Facebook group with all of the product that we were gifted. Everybody take a drink. Let's see, I want to do all of the stems and leaves. Well, maybe, Valerie. I think it was that, and I kissed a baby that had a virus. But you know what? Who can resist a baby? Not me. Okay, so now I'm just pulling paint right off the end. Maybe I'll do like every other on this one. That might be kind of cool. So we dropped my sister and my niece off at the airport yesterday morning. And then on the way home, Jeff said, what do you want to do today? And I said, lay on the couch. Just lay on the couch. And then wander around my house. That's what I did all day. I laid on the couch and then I wandered around. Did a few things, then I laid back down on the couch. We started to watch, what's the name of it? The Christian Dior show. Oh, golly, 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 just a sec. I wrote some notes about it. The new look. So has anybody else watched that or started it? It is fascinating. So, number one, I'm just, I'm not a fashion plate by any means, but I really liked I think I'll do this one this way too. I really liked the, seeing the fashion and how it built and all of that, but the story is so much deeper. And Tam, you would love it because it's World War II, and it's all about those fashion icons and how they navigated the horrors of World War II and Paris's occupation, the Nazi occupation of Paris. And oh my golly, it was just, I mean, it was, I wrote down, it was aesthetically gorgeous. Like, I loved seeing all of the fashion and all of the colors and the movement and that, and the human stories, certainly. But it was also heartbreakingly horrific to see the horrors of the Nazi occupation and anti-Semitism, which is so timely now. And it was, oh my gosh, Nance, it was so, so good. I think we watched 2 episodes last night. Seriously, I was kind of a zombie. And I thought, oh, I'll paint something. Nope, I just sat there. I just sat there. Anyway, it was so good. I can't wait to watch another episode. I can't wait. So anyway, like, I didn't know that Coco Chanel, I mean, I'm not a big fashionista or anything, but how did I not know that Coco Chanel was kind of a Nazi, not a spy, but she was an agent of the Nazis. Fascinating. Did anybody know that? Am I just in the dark about fashion? And here's another cool thing that happened is that we saw, they had representation of all kinds of designers. Balenciaga and Balmain, Dior, obviously, and Coco Chanel. I'm sure there might be others, but oh my goodness. It was fascinating. Like, just fascinating. Let's see if this one's dry enough for us to. Wonder if we can. Oh, there we go. We can paint on some details with the end of this. So we can just right here. Did our friends fly home, Susan? Gail and Diana. So if you get a chance, give it a watch and then let's talk about it. The dresses, I'm telling you, the dresses. And the movement and the, oh man, it was so, so good. I still have a little bit of color on here still, so I need to use that up. I think I want to come in with some more. Oh, fun. Oh, fun. Is she a Dodgers fan, Tam? So it's a, it is on Apple, Christian, and it's called The New Look. And it is, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's just so good. Let's see. Okay, so I saw this other thing and I thought it was in fitting with what we talked about this weekend at the retreat, because the retreat was all about art journaling as self-care, right? That was kind of a, oh, that's so nice. Oh, I'm glad she gets to enjoy the sunshine just a little bit longer. But Diana made it home safe and sound, I presume. Okay, so here we go. Look at this. Doubt says, I'm afraid to fail. Creativity says, I can't fail, I'm just playing. Doubt says, seems like a lot of work. Creativity says, how can I make it fun? Doubt says, I don't feel inspired. Creativity says, I'll start and see what happens. Doubt says, my style is not perfect. Creativity says, my quirks make me unique. Doubt says, what if people don't like it? Creativity says, feedback makes me better. Doubt says, trauma is holding me back. Creativity says, expression is healing. Oh, you guys. I'll put that in the group, I think. It was just, lovely. Lovely, lovely. Let's see. Let's find some pinks and, ooh, abandoned coral. And ripe persimmon. Isn't it thought-provoking, Deb? I just thought that it was so, it kind of spoke to us, you know? Oh, worn lipstick. That's pretty. Saltwater taffy is, crazily enough, kind of in this same family. Spun sugar. Let's see where that takes us. So I'm gonna do the dip. I wonder if we do, I was thinking about, what do you think about doing this spun sugar right in the very center? And then, like, what could I do next? Let's do saltwater taffy. Dip, dip, dip. Over here. Around the edges. I want some kind of painterly vibes. And remember, this is just my first layers. That's the best, isn't it? Like, what am I going to want to do after this? I'm already seeing like mark making kind of in my head, and I'm kind of digging that, you guys. So I think I want to So let's try and do saltwater taffy in the center of this one. And come in with abandoned coral or ripe persimmons. Let's try abandoned coral. Well, Deb, I sure hope you start to feel better. That's for sure. Let's do this one, this color in the center. This morning I felt like it was just like some experimentation. See where we're going. Ripe persimmon. This is how we learn, right? Just by experimenting with color. Okay. Vicky's still here too. I love that. This one's kind of, remember I told you when you get it wet and then you kind of have that moment where you feel it break? These, because it's the medium is so hard and dense, it takes a little bit of a while for it to have that. I told you there's that moment where it just kind of breaks. Okay. Let's do the right person. This one is worn lipstick. I thought I had a brighter one, but oh well. This is a lesson in just using what's on your desk. Because everything else is not found its way back to its home yet. It's all in the dining room. So pretty. Let's do this one. There we go. Oh, I love all of that blend of colors, you know, of just picking a palette. Last night I was talking to my great niece Desiree, who I told you all about, the one who broke her arm. That's so funny, Valerie. So what's your jam? What's your jam color-wise? So I'm going to let that dry, and I'll come back and see where I want to go with that. How am I doing on time? Oh, I'm so good. Everybody take a drink, please. Bundled sage. Hi, Gretchen. More purples and blues. Okay, let's see what we got in these boxes. I have wilted violet, chipped sapphire. I want a lighter something. I have weathered wood. Let's see if that fits the, nope, broken china, I think. I think I like broken china better. Oh, dusty concord. Blueprint. I'm just pulling a whole bunch. No, you did not. Debbie, that's so cool. You know I love those kind of stories. I do. Okay, let's see what we got. So we have some little bits of extra space here that we can do a little swatch and we can see what we've got. That is Blueprint Sketch. This is Wilted Violet. Look at those two. I like those two together. They're in the same tone family. She is not a retired art teacher. Well, she sounds right up my alley. Let's see. This is Dusty Concord. Let's see how that looks. Ooh, that's kind of periwinkle. Susan, we were just talking about periwinkle. I think periwinkle is one of the most magical colors because it just kind of, it's neither purple nor blue. It's its own delightful blend of purple and blue. Chipped sapphire. Oh, that's much deeper. And this is broken china. Look at how bright and gorgeous that is. So what if we, let's do periwinkle. I know. Don't you love periwinkle? It's just a delight. I don't know how else to say it. So I'm just going to start filling in some spaces with color, with blues and purples for Valerie this morning. So here's my thought, Susan. They are just very, I think they are very different than Neo 2s. I to be perfectly honest, I love my Neo 2s, Susan. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. Here's the biggest difference, I will say. Number one, Neo 2, those are a fine art tool, right? Not to sound too snobby, but they're a fine art tool. So the things that I like about my Neo 2s, I love the vast color range, and they're much softer than these Distress watercolor pencils. Things I like about Distress, I like that I can have a particular color in all kinds of mediums, right? I can have it in a Distress ink pad. I can have it in an oxide ink pad. I can have it in a acrylic paint. I can have it in a watercolor crayon. I can have it in a watercolor pencil. Although I didn't really love the watercolor crayons as much as I thought I would. Do you get my drift? Like, I can fall in love with a color and be able to create with it with all kinds of mediums. I love that. So, do you remember the theme of our artsy motto? We don't deny ourselves any cuteness, right? We want to do all the artsy things. So let's see. I think I want to do this watercolor pencil, this wilted violet. But I want to come in these little spaces. So I'm going to dip in my water and then tap off on my paper towel. Just get some color in there. And then I can play around with filling the space more completely. Oops. Remember, paper towel is your best friend. And remember, this is just my first layer of creation. Yeah, so I have, in my art crayons, I have Neo 2s, I have Staedtler, and I have something else. Woody's. I like those three. Those three are my kind of my faves, right? But these, I know these are more easily accessible for everybody. And so and they kind of serve its purpose. You know what I mean? Like they're I knew I'd end up with two. What ifs? What ifs? What ifs? Oh, I like that a little bit of purple got in that blue. That's going to be kind of pretty. I'm hoping it'll kind of like just like spread itself out. Do you see it? Look at that. It's like magic. Let's see. Yeah, so I love my Neo 2. So I have Neo 2s. Do you like them? Do you like them a lot, Susan? I think that's the key, right? Is if you really like something. Yes, and I will tell you, so I'm going to pull out some of my dotted washi tape. And I'm going to, so Neo 2s work on my washi tape like nobody's business. So let's see. So I like to do like a strip of washi. Okay. I know, but don't you find yourself going through kind of stages of what you create with? Do you know what I mean? I was just talking to, who was I just talking to about that? That like all of a sudden I'll go, oh, Karen markers, I haven't played with you in a long time. Let me pull you out, old friend. And that always makes me happy. Dusty Concord. I think this will be pretty. This is like that magical. I did not prep my washi this morning. I'm just doing this right on top. So I just stuck down a strip of washi tape. And I'm just laying some color on top, and I'll just let that dry. I'll just let it dry by itself. I'm not going to help it along with a heat tool or anything. I kind of like that. I like when it just, to see where it goes, and it's pretty wet. To see where it goes naturally, you know? Let's see, what do I have? Oh, I have this blueprint sketch. Let's see what this is. Because sometimes we were talking about, who was I just talking about that to? Nancy, was it you? About, like, I have to have my supplies, like, kind of in front of me. If they're not, if they're in a drawer, then I kind of, then I'm not as apt to use them. Maybe it was, I don't know. Was it you, Debbie? Where we talked about, like, I need them right in front of me. Oh, you guys, I think I'm going to come back in with this purple right in the center there. I will forget to use them too. I will forget it. Yep, Debbie, I remember now. Yeah, like, and for me, it's always lovely when I, like, oh, hello, old friend. I've missed you, and what can we make together? Do you know what I mean? So I'm just going to let that dry and see what happens, right? And I could even splatter on top of it with some Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white later on, or who knows what I could do. But let's get this out. Let's move that and see how we're doing on time. We're doing good. We're doing good. Let's paint some more of this. Oh, everybody take a drink. Ooh, have fun at Mahjong. It was so nice to meet you. Let's meet in person sometime. Oh, I love Dr. P.H. Martin's. I love it, love it, love it. You know, it's so funny. So I've used the bleed proof white forever and a day. And then at the beginning of the pandemic, Dr. P.H. Martin's, it is located in, I think they're located in Oceanside, California, which is where my mother-in-law lives. But, you know, in the beginning of the pandemic, I was all about, what can I play with? What's something new and different and, you know? So I bought a whole set of their inks. Oh my gosh. Oh, they were like half off. I was all about it. I was all about it. Let's do some purple, some wilted violet. I'm just going to randomly painting segments of my flowers because, you know, if you look at a flower in nature, not that this flower is like a realistic flower, but if you look at a flower in nature, it's not solid yellow or it's not solid orange or red or anything. There are so many variations in the color. So next time you go to the grocery store, buy yourself a little bunch of posies and really examine the flower. And you'll see a variety of shades of color. And it's just fascinating. So like I said, I'm just getting I will, Sue. No problem. My car is in the shop today. It's always such a weird thing, isn't it? Where you have to, you know, you make an appointment and you take it in, and then you have to explain what is going on. And they try and talk you out of it. They try and tell you, oh, it's probably just this or that. No. And then they kind of almost insinuate that you're a little bit dumb. So then they'll say, oh, did you try to do this? Or did you try to do, no. No, can you just do whatever you need to do, work your little magic and, you know, help us figure out what's going on and fix it. So now I'm going to come in with Dusty Concord. I feel like I really want to just let these colors just dry, and then I can move that color a little bit more once it's dry with a damp paintbrush. I know, seriously, it's just frustration. You know what it is? My car, well, it has that, you know, what's that thing where it shuts itself off at the light? That's just frustrating. And the only way you can stop it from doing that, because I think that's like the default, right, when you start your car, the only way you can stop that is to press that button that turns it off every time you enter the car. Okay, fine, I can do that. But it was starting to, and it's a turbo, so it has that little bit of extra power every now and again. But it was starting to kind of almost like lag just a little bit and then go. I was like, Jeff, that's like dangerous. It's dangerous when you're wanting your car to go. Like, what if I'm in an intersection or something? That's a dangerous thing. Let's see. Do I have any that are not touching each other? Mm-hmm. So be sure to check out but the turbo is different than what this thing that it's doing is. I don't know. It's just frustrating. That's all I can tell you. And we'll see what happens. And Jeff didn't even need me. They gave him a ride home this morning because he was like, I might be calling you. That's always a weird thing too, isn't it? Okay. Now I'm at a standstill point. I need to stop. I need to stop because everything's wet and it's going to bleed, and I don't want it to bleed until I kind of want it to bleed. Does that make sense to anybody? I hope that you are all warmed up and you will think about the difference between what your doubt says and what your creativity says. I hope you'll really, really think about that. And I will put it in the group. And I will also put a link to Life is a Verb. And so you can be thinking about your exuberance today. A PhD in exuberance. I hope that everybody really thinks about that, you know? Thinks about their, sometimes as grown-ups, we let so much, dumb stuff that doesn't really need to be given any kind of credence. We let it creep into our heads, and that's not good. Hey, and guess what I read this morning that I thought was kind of fascinating? Did you know zip codes didn't come into effect until 1963? Fascinating. I did not. And so it talked about why I read a thing, and then you know how like you go out of Instagram and then you go back and then you've lost it forever. Why didn't I save that? I talked all about that this weekend. Why didn't I do that? Crazy. Anyway, they talked about how it helped with sorting the mail so much more, but not since only since 1963. I would have thought that they were much older than that, zip codes. Anyway, fascinating. Okay, so tomorrow we will be gathering in Stitch Along with Ann Corbiere-Scott in the Stitch Along with Ann Facebook group. And then Thursday we will be back here and we will be doing art journaling. Let's do some artsy backgrounds. I think we have let's see. So we did this page and this page, and now we need to do something here. I think I'm going to work on I think I'm going to leave this space for my Super Bowl. So then I'm going to work on this page. So we'll talk about that on Thursday. Talk to you all soon. Thanks so much, everybody. It means the world to me that you came to spend some time with me. So, anywho, go out and make it a terrific Tuesday. Bye, everyone.